It's about time you got yourself a winter costume. Or are you just trying to match my costume? Okay people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Today let's take a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Deluxe movie Black Widow. And yeah, she's not in black, she's in white, which would actually make her, White Widow. That was dumb as hell. But this is actually the first figure I've gotten from the Black Widow movie line. Unfortunately, that movie got pushed. Who knows when we'll get to see that. But to me, getting plastic, it still makes me excited. Sure, it's not the same as seeing the movie and going, oh, I gotta have the toys. Don't get me wrong, I dig the movies and I like watching them, and I was just rewatching some the other night. So there's an excitement there, but I think the toys get me more excited about the movie. You know what I mean? Looking at the package, it's your standard Marvel Legends Deluxe packaging. Bigger box, shaped kind of, with the angles coming in. Big window showing you everything you get here. Black Widow movie logo. Warning, don't put them in your mouth. On the side, a nice drawing of Widow's movie look. On the back, little bio, a picture of everything you get in the set. Kind of instructions on how to use the base. Lots more warnings in lots more languages. On the other side, that same picture just reverse. On top, a Black Widow logo. On the bottom, legalese, barcode. But I'm gonna get this open, see what's going on here. See what's up with these Figuarts-esque, is that a word? Figuarts-esque accessories going on. Get out of the box. Oh, double trade, fancy. It is deluxe. What do we have for a backdrop? Oh, that's nifty, just a little White Widow graphic. I've discovered a new life form. Let's assemble the base real quick while I have it out. It's kind of weird. It seems like that should be just a straight peg. It's more of a ball joint. Well, I guess that works because it pops in there. Ooh, notice the silvery Hasbro logo that you have to hit the light just right to see. And then what? This goes here, and then that plugs and, well, not as tight as I thought it would. Okay, you can pull the bottom back off, reposition it if you want it in the corner. That's probably the reason for the ball joint, actually. And getting the figure itself out of the package, it's taken me a little bit, but I think I'm coming around to Black Widow in a white suit. I'm just not used to seeing Black Widow in white, but it's a nice change of pace. And going by the trailers, she seems to have a more traditional black and gray suit too. So maybe it's the change, or maybe this is the training suit in the past. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. I just know that in white, it's a nice look on the shelf. Now, since I don't have the regular Black Widow from the Marvel Legends Black Widow wave, I'm not sure if this is reuse from that. You can see the sculpted details in. There's no paint, there's no shading, there's no nothing to bring that detail out. But in regular lighting, it's not gonna be as stark white. Did somebody say stark white? You see some armor plates up here at the shoulders, a little bit of detail work coming down the arm. It doesn't seem to have much texture to it, and is that from me dropping it on the floor, or is that just dirt from the factory? There's also a little bit right there. But like I said, it doesn't seem to have a texture to a lot of it. It may have... No, it's mostly smooth with some seam lines, some armor plates, the top of the boots, opening with some straps and another line. But again, it's all in white. There is a little bit of red punched in right here at the shoulders, but other than that, that's all you get on the body. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's realistic in person, or well, life size. It wouldn't have shading and stuff to the suit that would rely on natural lighting. So they went that direction, but at the same time, when you scale it down, I don't know. I'd kind of like to see a little bit of shading there. And then the overlay parts like the bracers, the belt, the straps coming down to here, those are all separate pieces on top of the body. You can slide them up and down or take them off when you remove the hands. And for the belt, it's all one piece. It's not glued down anywhere, not pegged in so it floats. But the holsters don't slide up the thigh, and the belt doesn't slide down below the waist, so it stays in place really, really well while getting out of the way of everything. And then up at the head, I haven't watched the trailer enough to know her hairstyles in this movie. It seems to be short on one side, longer on the other. I don't know, well, or it's swept back or something. But it's very Widow-esque, and then there is the face. Photoreal is about the greatest thing that's happened to Marvel Legends, especially the MCU figures. Sure, you get up close, you see some pixels, and sometimes it's a little bit rough, but for the most part, it brings an element of realism that you can't get with just paint. Okay, customizers and prototype painters can, but at the factory level, it's hard to mass produce that in actual paint. So this technique, ooh, it's made me like the MCU figures from Marvel Legends so much better. to the point where I've given up on a lot of import figures. At first you think, oh, the lipstick's not applied right, but this side of the mouth is actually kind of smirky. It looks off until you realize, oh, she's being a smartass. The hair is sculpted okay. I mean, it's there. When it comes to plastic hair, it's gotten to the point where it sometimes looks odd because you have to kind of account for the shoulders and the body. It's not going to lay like natural hair. It's going to stick out in places. Now that we have photo real, next we need photo hair. Oh, I don't know if that's a good idea, but Hasbro, you can steal it. Nice shade of red, though, and then there's a dark wash to bring out the detail. Nitpicks and gripes would be talking more about the hair. I don't know what can be done here. It's a fairly soft material, but not soft enough to get, well, it does kind of get out of the way, but it's going to push the head back into position. Oops, I was talking shit about paint a minute ago, and this is actually part of the sculpt and painted black, so there's a little bit of paint on the body. But taking a look at the feet for a second, because of the shape here and usually with high heels, they can't put a forward-facing pin for some rocker. So that pin ends up going down, and instead of rocking, it mostly works like a swivel side to side. On the female bodies, because of the thinness, they already go with hinge and swivel, which is getting better and better about going a little past 90 more and more. I'd almost like to see them experiment down here with like a ball joint maybe, or something where you can get tilt side to side and a little bit forward and back. I mean, it probably won't go as far as a hinge, but it would get a little bit. I don't know, is it worth sacrificing the maximum range of hinge forward and back to get some rocker in there? I don't know. I love the rocker. It adds so much to dynamic posing. But going over articulation, there is a ball at the top of the neck with a hinge under that. The hair gets in the way from looking up, but she can slightly glance up. Good down though. Doesn't bury the chin, but that's the length of the neck, I think. There would be a little bit of tilt if the hair wasn't in the way. And then of course swivel. Hinge and swivel at the shoulder, goes all the way around, hinges up to there. Armor doesn't really get in the way. It actually goes inside the torso whenever it comes up. Hinge and swivel at the elbow comes up past 90 and then swivels. Also has this elbow plate coming down over the articulation there, so it makes it a little less noticeable, I guess. Push this up just a little bit. There's a swivel at the wrist and then side to side hinge on the fists. Ball joint at the mid torso, not a bad range. Ball joint coming out to the hip can come forward. Again, the holster rig is rubbery, gets out of the way. Back, not so much. Out, it's past 45, but not all the way. It actually swivels on the hip a little bit, but then there is a swivel below that. Double knee, oh, easily kicks her own ass. Boo, 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 boo. Talked about the ankle, hinges back, forward, and then a pin straight down. Something I just noticed, the flesh all the way down the chest, that's actually a separate piece inside the body. It seems glued in there really well, and at first I thought, oh, is that another point of articulation? But it's not. What it does do, though, is save a paint app that's cast in flesh color. That also makes for a nice crisp separation between suit and body. So not bad at all. For accessories, White Widow comes with 2 fists, comes with 2 grip hands, and then comes with 2 trigger finger hands. Those are easy enough to pull out, but be careful because the bracers are a separate piece. They can slide off, and if you don't want them to come off, and if you've got shaggy carpet, that could be gone. And the trigger finger hands and the grip hands are appropriately up and down hinges. Yeah, way to go, Hasbro. She comes with 2 pistols and nice little sculpts. They're really tiny, and my old eyes, they look okay. And they fit in the hand. That's what matters. But another nifty thing is that they actually slip into the holsters. We've been seeing that a bit here and there, and even on the older Black Widow figures where the gun is sculpted into the holster. And I can see why they go that way, but at the same time, there's just something about a working holster that's awesome. And of course, that's on both sides. She comes with these 2 chain weapons with a hook on the end, and I'm guaranteeing this is some kind of movie technology where this is like one piece, and she's hitting people, and then it splits apart, and these chains whip out, and then she climbs. I'm sure it's spiffy comic logic here. And you can use the trigger finger hand or the grip hand for this. Both work good. These are also a softer rubbery material, kind of like the holsters. She comes with these 2 little Widow blasts. There's a hoop on it. It's got kind of a on the outside, and the electricity goes all the way around. And it seems like the 3 Widows that are coming out currently, they went with 3 different directions, come out hand, each with their own kind of way of representing this blast. I don't know if this is my favorite. You gotta thread it in on the hand. And it looks like it's firing all these cylinders at once with one big blast on top, but I wish it kind of came out further like it was an actual, shooting out. Or maybe this electrifies her punches and, it stuns them or something. She comes with these explosion effects, and one is kind of a triple shot. These 3 blasts are attached together. And then there's also a medium shot and a small shot. These are very similar to what we see with the Iron Man repulsor blasts, but at the same time, these are different because the pegs are angled. There's this bulkier, more bulbous blast. Pretty nice sculpt. It's got some blasts coming out and bubbles at the bottom. And this is the bigger ball joint that we saw with the stand. And then there is a big, huge explosion. This is like some sticks of dynamite or something they threw at her, and she's jumping away from them. Fairly large. That's why it's hollow on the inside. It has this peg coming down, again, with that stand peg at the bottom. And those all plug into the stand itself, which is, it's nifty. I like the options here, but it is big and kind of bulky, and it seems like it'd take a lot of real estate on the shelf. The arm itself slides up and down on this tall bar. That comes out to a swivel here and a swivel here with a hinge. And the reason for that is so you can turn that hinge any way you want here and then come up and down, or you can turn it to the side and make it angle side to side a little bit. So there is a lot of options on how to put her on here. And then the clamp itself is actually spring loaded. Very deluxe feeling. It's a good snap. But on the base itself, there's these big holes. There's 2 holes and then 2 foot pegs. So you can have her standing on the bottom with somebody else up in the stand, or you can use these holes for these blast effects. These blasts have the smaller peg, which fit into here, and they're angled to make it look like the shots are coming in. There's the 3 shot over there. Then the bigger holes hold the explosions. Plug that into there. You can angle that to the side, snap her into place. Very action oriented and adds a lot to the shelf. But like I said, boy, that sticks out really far. I like it, but I don't know if I'm going to use it. Height-wise, Widow stands at about 5 7/8, which works really well with other Marvel Legends MCU figures. Here is Black Widow from, boy, I don't remember how old this figure is. And then the in-game Captain America, Marvel Legends Stan Lee and Captain Marvel. A little bit large for figure arts with the Black Widow and Tony Stark. It's close, but you can tell that the proportions are bigger. But she does look close to Marvel Legends comic book scale. Here's Sharon Carter and the Ultimate Rider's Black Widow. In fact, does this, oh, the whole neck piece comes off. It's got a slide down post, and then it's got a lock-in peg. That didn't help it from popping off though. Let's see what this does. Oh, it does pop on, but the neck is way too long and the skin tone's way off. So at the end of the day, it's a fine set. I did find myself messing around more and more with the stand and the explosions. It makes for a cool display piece. And the figure is no slouch either. I do like the articulation and the presence she has on the shelf. It's just my own personal preference of, I don't care for her in white. But I'm sure that'll be explained in the movie, and I won't have a problem with that at all. In fact, when I see the movie, it'll probably be, oh, okay, she can go over on this shelf with so-and-so, and then here and here and here. But my brain is programmed. It's trained to see this character in a black costume. It's Black Widow. So overall, it kind of feels like an experiment with the stand and the explosions and everything, and I feel like it works for the most part. It just needs some fine-tuning. It needs some refining. I have nothing against experimenting. In fact, it's me experimenting. You know, oh, it can do this, it can do that. It just needs streamlined a little bit. But do I regret getting it? Hell no. Hell no. It's fun overall. That's the name of the game. Fun. So if you enjoyed the review, comment, like, subscribe, or whatever the platform you're watching this on allows. Much love to the plus. Right now, Dorkside Toys is doing a weekly giveaway. So if you're into free toys or just in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on the Fwoosh.